I thought it was you. Oh, you're eating. You still need to be able to say your name, so finish the gummy bear.
Hi, I'm Devin Jones.
And I'm Craig Jones, and we are a father-son review team. And we're going to do something a little different today. We're actually going to do a podcast. We have got some guests in the studio here today. We're in a podcast studio. We have my son, Wesley, teenager. He's 16 years old, and he's a rabid Star Wars fan because I introduced him to Star Wars when he was like 2 by playing the Lego Star Wars game, and he was adorable. He was adorable. And then we also have my man, Will, Corbett, from Cinematic Otherworld. He's a filmmaker like we are. He's a really good filmmaker. You should go check out their channel. It's Cinematic Otherworld, and it's hilarious stuff. Not always for children, but it is hilarious. So, Will, tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about myself. I really like Fanta. But yeah, I make videos largely inspired by Star Wars, just in a, get the nice bottle cap sounds. That's largely inspired by Star Wars. And just in a general sense, I really was a big fan of George Lucas and all his ideas when I was young, and I just liked his creativity and how he approached filmmaking in the 70s and how they revolutionized special effects, and to this day every movie is inspired by Star Wars to some degree. So
it's very true. Very true. Tell me a little bit about yourself, son. All right, thank you. Now
he is a son.
We are going to be reviewing the long-awaited, much stressed over film Star Wars. What's it? The Rise of Skywalker? The name of the movie?
In the Name of Skywalker? What was it?
No, it's Rise of Skywalker, right?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Does no one know the name of the movie?
I really didn't know when I saw it. I thought it was a silly name.
It is.
It's Star Wars 9.
Yeah,
Okay.
episode 9.
The end of the Skywalker saga. This is a big deal. We are going to get into some spoilers here. But first, a quick parents guide, because we always do that. Parents, if your kids have seen a Star Wars movie, they're going to be fine with this one. There are a few jump scares that's about the middle, right? With the Emperor and when she goes and sees herself, and there's a little bit. It's a little scary, so maybe 10 and up, but it's going to be fine. If your kids have seen Star Wars, this movie will be fine. If they love Star Wars, they'll love seeing all the backflips and Jedi moves and blaster fights and.
But yeah, there's like mutilation and stuff.
There is?
No.
Oh.
No?
What are you talking about?
The video.
Is that like not the right word? Like,
What are you talking
at
about?
the very beginning of the movie, Kylo Ren cuts off a dude's arm. And impales like 3 dudes.
Yeah, but there's no gore though. There's no blood.
He picked them up with a lightsaber.
But pretty much every Star Wars movie
he cut
has
off
somebody
a dude's
getting their arm cut off, so that's all right.
Sure they.
It's not lethal.
Most
Since
of them
before 2012, yeah.
Sorry, we're gonna be like chewing and eating candy and drinking soda. We're ghetto in here today. But anyway, parents, the movie's pretty harmless. It's got Star Wars violence. If you know Star Wars and you've seen Star Wars, you know what the violence is. They don't go.
Yeah, there's no blood because like the lightsaber like cauterizes the wound, so there's no gore happening.
And everybody's okay with that?
That's what it does.
I mean,
I was offended when I was watching it. I had to get over my religious beliefs that no wound should be cauterized, but
yeah.
no, the movie's fine. It's definitely made for kids. In fact,
Okay.
I would say.
Well, now that the parents' guide is out of the way, we are
Notification. Oh no, it's the lights on.
we are gonna be spoiling the heck out of this movie. We're gonna talk about it in depth. So I'm gonna let you go first. How do you feel about the movie?
Don't make me go first.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go first. How do you feel about the movie? Or do you need somebody else to talk about it so you can just interject and talk mess about it?
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna let you talk about the movie. Go ahead.
I'll talk about the movie. I've been saying the same thing to everyone, but before I saw it, I was telling everyone, with The Last Jedi, with The Force Awakens, it came out, and I was like, okay, it's to get the fans back. I get it. I'm going to see where it goes.
Right.
I saw The Last Jedi. I liked some of the things, and some of the things in it were just not meant for Star Wars, just the way that they were telling that story and the decisions that they put into it. Rian Johnson, his writing in particular. So I was like, the last movie, you have to win me back. You have to win me back, Star Wars. And that's the position I walked into it with. So it wasn't like no expectations, but it was very low expectations.
Yeah, I did too.
I did not feel like my expectations as a writing and plot, like that's what I watch for when I watch movies. And when I think about the plot of this movie and just the structure that holds everything else, it was just very flimsy. And I could not. It's like once I accepted the weak writing, I enjoyed the other things in the movie. But I had to like put myself there. I had to get to the point where I was like, okay, it's just dumb lightsaber fights, and they're just gonna bring back every dead character ever just because the fans know who they are. And it's like, I enjoyed it for what it was. After that, which is not saying much, I think.
Okay. I agree with you on the writing. I thought a lot of the writing was just bad. A lot of the dialogue was forced and bad. The Poe character, I hated all his dialogue. I did not. What?
Forced.
Forced. Oh, I said forced. But no, I really was not feeling the dialogue. But I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be a bad movie.
I thought it was going to be worse than it was.
And I enjoyed the movie, man. I really did. Because I turned my mind off and I just went on a trip with it. And it's got everything. It checks all the boxes for a Star Wars film.
Yeah.
And it does it well. And you know what? I'm going to say what is perfect about, only one thing's perfect about the movie. And it's the fact that we are finally at a technological age where this stuff looks gorgeous. The worlds are fully realized. You know, Lucas tried to do it to prequels and it just looked like garbage. But everything looks fantastic, you know.
Yeah.
It looks real. And I did appreciate that. But I feel what you're saying. It was kind of like, people ask me, oh, should I see it? I'm like, I don't know if you should see it, but I enjoyed it. But I don't know if it's a good movie, but I enjoyed watching it. You know.
Yeah,
a few times I got the feels, you know.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, the Williams score hits you, you know. And
yeah, it's like I enjoyed watching the movie, but I didn't enjoy thinking about the movie.
It's like
which I like thinking about movies a lot.
this
but it's
movie.
Star Wars, man. You know.
Which I don't know.
Which
Those
you can think
the
about.
first,
Not
or
supposed
the
to be,
original
you know.
two movies, like Return of the Jedi, it kind of falls off. But within the whole original trilogy, I think you can look at those movies and really pick them apart, and they hold up so well.
Right.
And the rest just, I don't know.
Yeah.
You were
I
gonna
feel you.
say something, Devin?
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that this movie is better than the last two that they made.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know
Are
if it's
we
better,
all in
but
agreement with that?
I like this one better than The Last Jedi and Force Awakens.
It is better.
Okay.
It's just better in like every way.
It exists like the other two. It's in existence. Well, one
But
of
it's
them
better.
might as well not be.
I know. Just for curiosity's sake, did anybody here like The Last Jedi?
You did.
Yeah, I did. I kind of liked it.
Moron.
You know. There's some
After-
awesome moments in that movie.
after
And then there's
speaking-
some
Awesome,
crap,
yeah.
too. There's
Awesome
crap, too.
moments don't pull the whole entire movie up, but I like those moments.
There was enough of those moments for me
So,
where I can say I
there
liked
was-
it.
After
a
speaking
solid
with Wesley,
one.
I've changed my mind of liking the movie to saying that it's not good. But
It sucks.
yeah,
It's garbage.
but there are good moments in it.
Nope.
There are good moments in it. But yeah, a lot of the movie just doesn't make sense.
I will say that movie, The Last Jedi, of all the movies, I think it's the best shot.
Yeah,
As
but
far
it's
as
the worst
lit-
one.
In effects, it just looks beautiful.
Yeah, but it makes bad
Well, Empire Strikes Back, I think, is a lighting miracle. But yeah, I would say The Last Jedi, just because of its sheer awesome look to it and some of the action sequences, it really is a technically really good film. I just don't know if it's a good Star Wars movie, but I think
If
it's
it's
a good
the
movie.
8th movie in a series of films, I don't care what it looks like.
Well, I do.
It has to make sense with the
dude.
7 movies before it.
The movie makes sense. They just took it in a place you didn't want it to go.
I
That's
think
all.
the Last Jedi
You're
could
wrong.
have worked if J.J. Abrams didn't try to, because Ryan Johnson was like kind of pulling like the bait and switch on everyone who likes Star Wars, like the whole world. He's just like, I'm gonna change up, all these plots, all these character like arcs that you think are gonna happen. Like, oh, I'm gonna kill Snoke, and Rey is gonna be a nobody, and I'm gonna like change
I
up
liked
the
all that
whole.
stuff,
I
man,
thought it
so
was
I'm sure
fine,
you did.
but then in this movie, J.J. Abrams, they're like, we can't do any of that. We have to, and so it's like, if this movie had been like the 7th movie, I think they could have or if the things
it
that
honestly could have been. You
like-
could have jumped right over Last Jedi. I don't think it would
Yeah.
have.
Because they undid it all.
The fact
because it was
that
bad.
these writer directors are trying to one up each other has made this whole trilogy just like a big stupid circle where
Yep.
the events of the Force Awakens don't affect, no one talks about Starkiller Base.
I think they did.
Well, it shouldn't
at
have
one
existed
point,
in the
like
first
one
place.
sentence. I think.
That's a writing thing. I'm talking about once it's written in the movie.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. It's like.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I
Yeah.
thought I didn't think he was trying to one up the last one. I just thought Abrams had laid down something that he wanted to do,
Yeah.
and Johnson came around and was like, "Nah, screw you. I'm gonna do what I want to do." And so Abrams was like, "No, I wanted to do
Yeah.
this," and so he just took it all back and.
It's
you
like
know.
we could have gone somewhere in that time, but we didn't. I don't feel like it was earned. All this Palpatine stuff, because there's no foreshadowing that Snoke
And
is Palpatine. There's foreshadowing in the original trilogies because they were planned as
Right.
3 movies each
Yeah.
to some degree.
And to a certain point, the original trilogy, some stuff they made up as they went, but there was
lot of
an
it.
arc. There was
Yeah.
an arc there
Yeah.
that was altered, but it was an arc. Yeah.
Lucas had a vision. Disney has spreadsheets for the last movie telling them what to change to make the next movie a bigger blockbuster.
Which didn't really work the best.
Well, it did work. They're making hand over fist money with it.
work to make money.
Yeah, they're
Not on everything, but
and just like
Agreed.
a lot of our, because Will and I, we went to filmmaking school together, and a lot of our buddies. I don't know if you're friends with them on Facebook, but I am, and they really loved the movie. So it's like it's getting a lot of positive buzz from fans.
Yeah.
I know critics really don't like it, but I think it's one of those movies. If you want, you can tear it apart, and if you want to like it, you can. There's just.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's strange, but
yeah.
yeah,
So-
I'm gonna go ahead and say that I like the movie.
For sure.
It's a good popcorn flick.
Yeah,
I think I can
It's a good time
agree.
with the movies.
I agree with that.
I mean, it could be more than that, but
I agree with that too. It definitely could have been more than that.
should have been more than that.
But
well, what do you think it should have been?
Yeah. Now we're into the shoulds.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
don't hold back. Just let it
Yeah.
out.
No, you got something to say and you keep mumbling.
Force Awakens sucks.
Okay. Yeah.
Last
I'll
Jedi
agree.
sucks.
It's bad.
Like, Starkiller Base was stupid.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Just
big Death Star.
rehashing.
5 planets can die now. Ooh.
Yeah.
So what? The Star Destroyers in this one, they're stupid.
I didn't mind that.
Yeah, they made the Death
Oh,
Star
we got
bigger.
1,000 Death Stars
They made
now.
the planet into a Death Star, and now they made the Death Star smaller.
Ooh.
If the Star Killer thing hadn't existed, I would have thought that this was cool. Having
Yeah,
all these Star
I guess.
Destroyers with a big,
Yeah.
huge.
But the planet.
But we've seen
Planet
planets just get destroyed. There's no emotion attached to it.
Yeah, they
Like-
blew up a planet that was on screen for 2 minutes. I don't care.
In the Force Awakens or in this one?
this
this
one.
one. I don't
Yeah.
know what that.
I don't
planet
even. I
was,
don't
do you know?
remember.
They were
that
there.
They blew up the planet that they showed.
Where the little guy that did the C-3PO thing, it's like that planet.
Oh,
When he like translated it, the weird dude this tall.
Yeah.
There's only one.
Hey, the best part of this movie, the little green guy.
the little dude. I forgot about the little
Yeah,
dude.
and
Yeah.
he spoke in an alien language, but then there were a couple lines where he was speaking English, and you're like, okay, whatever. Like,
So
And he's speaking, broken English.
yeah,
It's fine.
yeah.
yeah, it was fine.
It's like I guess Chewbacca could do that if he tried hard enough.
Probably,
Why can't?
but you don't need to. So. Yeah. No. The So that's all dumb. But the Star Destroyers really didn't play a big part at all. So I don't care.
Well, they were going to. Their whole goal was to go there and stop them before they could go do their thing.
But they didn't actually go and do the thing, so it's fine. If they went and did the thing, the movie would be bad. Because Death Star, again, 1,000 of them. They blowing stuff up. Like, no.
Where did he get 10,000 Star Destroyers?
Well, it's
You
30
can't be
years.
asking yourself
Yeah,
that
30
kind of
years
This
sitting
is
on a
why
planet.
I don't like the movie. It's just a simple question. Why did they come up from the ground at the beginning? Don't think about it.
Well,
just
I
accept
mean,
it.
he's been chilling on a planet.
As soon as that happens,
Just ride with it.
Yeah.
Just ride with it.
He's been sitting there for 30 years. I mean,
He's been building them.
yeah, just
That
kind of
bird.
hanging
I
out.
mean, he
with
had
his
like those
fingerless hand.
bunch
How do you
of
think he lost his
random
finger?
hooded people chilling.
Who are those people?
Dementors.
I don't know.
They're
That's my
Dementors.
joke. Stop.
But
Speaking of Dementors, the Force heal crap.
I don't mind the Force
See,
heal crap.
I think adding new force powers is cool.
Yes.
It's just they have to have a reason in the story
Yeah,
to be like
they did.
making a point, and they kind of did, but it also
they
like
didn't until the
there
end.
was so much other stuff in this movie that like you forget that Rey healed a snake.
I mean, why does that matter?
Yeah, I don't.
They have
just
to like introduce that
demonstrated,
she can do this now,
Yeah.
so they just put
Yeah,
a snake
that
in
was
there.
the first,
Yeah.
and
it's like-
could
I
have
thought
done
the
it better.
snake would come back later and help her, and it did.
I mean, the first time she did it, it could have been when she stabbed him, and then heals him. That could have just
been the first
I would
time.
have
Yeah.
been cool with that.
didn't need the snake.
So yeah, the snake didn't matter
But
at all.
it
They could've-
also
Actually,
doesn't
because
make anything
when
worse.
she did the snake, then she explained to
Yeah.
somebody what she did.
Yeah, that too.
Which I didn't need an explanation because Baby Yoda already does that on the Mandalorian.
up.
Yes, Baby Yoda's been healing people, man.
I don't
We know
care.
it can be done.
I don't care.
You know, the
Yeah,
true Star Wars
seen The
fans have
Mandalorian.
watched the Mandalorian.
I've been quite busy. I will watch it when I watch it.
A true Star Wars fan isn't really that busy though.
Yeah. We make time for the Mandalorian.
I was
We-
worrying about
This is-
something that
this is
mattered a
what we do
little
with
bit
our
more.
time.
Yeah.
But no, the heal thing, it's fine. There's just one issue.
This is spoilers, so you can say anything you want.
Yeah, I know. Revenge of the Sith, Anakin's talking to the Emperor,
Yeah.
and he's saying how, he asks him if it's possible to learn the power to, like, keep people alive, and he says, not for a Jedi. Well,
It was it was Palpatine, man. You can't believe nothing.
yeah,
he says,
but,
man.
yeah, I mean, he has books.
I don't have a
And
problem with
then-
that.
He could have just
I mean,
healed
Rey's
Padme.
Palpatine.
Ray is a Palpatine. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was like I don't know. I didn't care.
I don't care.
I didn't care.
It can
And I
somewhat
remember-
explain the whole.
It was the whole.
Powerful
I was
thing.
checked out, and it was just
Right.
But like
eye
I was at
candy
school
movie.
talking to my friends, and I asked them if they wanted to like know anything before they go see it, and then he was like, "What's Rey's last name? Like, is she anybody?" And I was like, "It's Rey Palpatine." And then they just said okay. They didn't care. They were just like,
And they also probably don't
That's not her last name.
know a thing. Yeah, and that's named Skywalker.
Her last name's
earlier when we were talking,
Shut
when
up.
you two were talking, I was about to ask, "Are you cool with that?"
No. Well,
With her
I mean, yeah,
calling herself
but
Skywalker.
I don't care.
It's just
I liked it.
kinda-
I liked that moment actually.
I think there should be a real one alive, but whatever.
maybe there is. Huh?
There's not.
Tenth?
Shut up.
I'm joking. Obviously, it's the end of the saga.
No.
But, like-
The end of the movie sucks. It doesn't. It's fine, but it could have been a lot better.
What
What
are you talking about
about
the end?
The fight, like when they kill him, and then like the actual end is fine. Whatever, I'm a
Yeah.
Skywalker.
the climax of the movie when they're
Yeah.
like underground and he's shooting lightning
Yeah.
up into the sky, and there's
And that was fine.
3 billion ships flying around.
Yeah.
And
That-
it's just a visual mess, in my opinion. It's just,
They've been doing that since they could since like the prequels, since they realized they could animate ships with a computer.
honestly,
It gets a little too cluttered.
there is one moment where if it was made in a computer, it would not be impressive at all. But in Return of the Jedi, there's a moment where like the whole screen gets just like populated by TIE fighters.
Yep.
And it's like really cool. But it's because it's like hand cut and composited. And so they
Yeah.
only had 3 seconds to like, they weren't going to spend 10 minutes on this effect where planes and
Right.
and ships are flying around everywhere and just destroying Star Destroyers senselessly. I thought the battle was pretty bad.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't know, but more not the spacecraft, but like the actual them down there.
You talking about where
The three of them, Palpatine, Rey, and
Ren or Ben, because he's Ben at that point.
the real Ben Skywalker.
Honestly, what are the good things about this trilogy though? Because I think Kylo Ren
Kylo Ren is wannabe Darth Cadus. That's it.
Kylo Ren is probably the best part, and I really liked in The Last Jedi and in this movie when they like talk to each other from across space, and then the camera, like the way that their heads are positioned in the camera is different than anything you would normally see to indicate that they're talking like across.
Yeah. Also, teleport. Force teleport.
That shit was cool, dude.
Yeah.
That bleep was cool.
But
What are you talking about?
When he snatched the necklace.
I don't know if I might be with you on
See,
that. I don't know
the
if
whole
I
movie,
go that far.
I didn't like it.
I thought
'Cause I was
liked
like,
it
this
because
is
it was,
stupid.
it was an
It's alright,
extension of
Yeah,
the
but it's like you
talking
can't
over.
do that. Come on.
But
yeah, I don't know how I feel.
And then, I mean, but when she gave him the lightsaber, it was cool.
right.
So like, it gets a pass because it was cool.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
it's kind
like,
of questionable.
there's something in the story that makes that force power like
useful.
matter.
Yeah.
The healing
And when he took
wasn't necessary.
Well,
you could have done
she'd
another.
be dead.
Huh?
She'd be dead, and he'd be alive if there wasn't the healing.
Oh,
That'd be a
that's right.
problem.
yeah.
Because they like.
She gave his life.
Well, Disney was never going to
her.
let her die. They had to have him die.
And even though he has
But-
the name,
Yeah, but and they honestly,
Kylo Ren
that would have been
would've-
pretty sweet. What's your last name? Solo.
Ben Solo.
Rey Solo.
He had just been like Solo, Ben Solo. Yeah, I understand, but
It's fine, I guess. I don't care. But okay, the end, the fight thing, the Avatar state, garbage.
What? Avatar state?
The Avatar state.
What?
She entered the Avatar state.
Went and did what?
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I have seen Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I know.
I've seen it
I know.
so many times.
You know, it's the avatars, right? Like everybody lives, like within them. You know, like the past avatars.
Oh, when all the Jedi were talking to her?
Yeah,
That was probably the coolest
it
part
was,
of this movie.
but the issue is
Just-
not on her; it's on him. He's all the Sith. What?
I don't remember them saying he was all this.
He said it
He
a
said
lot.
it.
Palpatine?
Yeah, he's like, I am all the Sith. They all live in him, and then when she strikes him down, he's gonna be part of her. Like, no. The whole Sith, when they die, they die. That was always the thing. They can, like, sort of stay around, but not like that. That's garbage.
But it's Palpatine. He could have been lying, or so full of hubris. All the Sith Lords always die because they're full of hubris.
If
They
he's
always get
lying,
full of themselves, and
or he's, you know, making it up, sure,
Well,
whatever.
they also die because their apprentice gets better than them.
And
That's kind of the
it's
other big part of it.
part of the religion, yeah.
Um,
They want to be killed by their apprentice. Which
no,
is,
they don't want to be.
Yeah,
killed,
they do.
But they don't want
Yes,
to be
they
killed.
do.
They do not.
Some of them do.
wouldn't it be cool? I thought it was like if they were. I thought he was saying
was gonna let
if she
her
killed him, he would like control her in her mind.
Because he would enter her body or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and
Now-
like, and all the Siths. It's like being John Malkovich.
Which is
Yeah.
that's not how it has ever worked. But
It's. I mean, like, it's a lot of stuff in Star Wars is never explained anyway.
Yeah.
They never explain in the first 6 movies what bringing balance to the Force.
no.
They never. No, they don't ever explain.
don't explain
They
it,
never
but-
explain
Started.
it.
It
But no,
started. We were on about this the other day.
and I'm right. No,
You think there's a meaning, but it could
No,
be
no.
interpreted several different ways.
no, they explained it in the prequels.
He actually has he has pretty good theory. on
Okay,
it.
what is it? Make it quick.
Balance cannot. There's for us, right? Real world. You have 2 definitions of balance.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scale. There's a literal. You know,
Yeah.
you have 1 Jedi,
They're
1
equal-
Sith.
they're equal, yeah.
Balance. Not that. No.
Okay.
Homeostasis.
Yeah.
That's what it means. The Sith are basically, I mean, they're cancer cells. That's it.
That's how
Lucas said it.
That's how the Jedi looks at it.
That's how everybody looks at it.
I don't like
Except
that.
for them. Well, that's because you don't know what you're talking about. You like Last Jedi. Anyway. Your opinions are... Nah. No, they use the Force in a way that it's corruptive and evil and bad.
Okay.
So, you eradicate the Sith, everything works. It's
Because they're not, like, leeching off of it for their own selfish
the idea
gain.
of, like, if we had a police force and criminals, you wouldn't want equal of that. You don't want the same amount of criminals as police. Right. You would want no criminals and all police. Now, assuming the police weren't criminals themselves.
Yeah. In a theoretical environment.
Or the police are the police, and like the Sith would be criminals, Jedi are police. You still have a police force in case the criminals show up, but balance would be getting rid of the criminals.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So, I mean, that's not the way I
And that's
think of
what
the
they
word
did.
balance, but that makes sense to
that's-
me. That's how the Jedi views it as balance.
That's how, that's the only way it makes sense. Because if it's 50 Sith, 50 Jedi balance, no, it's not balance. It's that Empire.
Do you want to talk about the movie? I mean, you haven't really... You don't care
You don't
about
know the
this movie.
story.
I don't care about this movie.
Well, then talk about
I
the
don't.
movie.
Anything I say, you're just gonna counter and come back with something better.
Well, it's your turn
So,
to
like,
talk, man.
That's
so
the
you-
show.
Yeah, so
I want to
speak.
watch that.
But the thing is, I
Go ahead.
don't like to admit this, but I love Star Wars, but I'm not a very
don't know
diehard fan
anything.
of it. Yeah, I don't really know much about it.
That's okay, though. You can just like the movies and be all right. You don't have to be,
To see the movie.
No, you don't have to
Like,
be
I
like
haven't-
this kid here.
You have to see the
Or
movie
honestly,
to like the movie.
Me, in a lot of ways, I'm kind of deep into it, too.
I haven't
you know.
seen the prequels
Well,
like,
you did when you were 3.
when I was
you know.
really young, but I can't. I don't remember.
Federation is.
It's okay.
You don't need to
nobody,
know what the
nobody
trade-
should
Yeah,
ever.
I know.
Yeah.
He just likes to
He
talk
doesn't
about
know what metachlorians are.
No.
So
Don't worry about
in
it.
those movies.
All right. Nah.
But yeah,
Didn't
go
happen.
ahead. Keep talking.
All right, well,
Conversation didn't happen.
I don't know. With this movie, I liked it. I don't know. It was enjoyable. There were a lot of moments that I found to just be cool. Like at the end, when the Emperor does the lightning thing, I just thought that was cool.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Because it's just like,
The Force Storm.
Yeah.
dang.
Yeah, everybody in this movie got like
Unlimited
God powers
power.
now.
I
That's-
didn't really mind that. I thought that was
Palpatine's
like...
the only one with the God.
And he
Yeah.
drained both of them right before he did that.
Well, I kind of had a theory that
Bio leech.
maybe if there's like a whole nation of Jedi, like a whole police force, maybe there's only so much force in the world, so it's like split up between all of them. But if there's only like Palpatine, Kylo Ren, and Rey are like the only people in the universe with force powers, like active ones, then maybe that just makes them like ultra strong. Like, I don't know. I just thought that would kind of. But like, you would have to put that in the movie and explain it. I don't know.
Nah,
it's just my
Because nobody
math.
thought of that but you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also,
That's what I'm
if it's
saying.
just 3 of them, I mean, you don't really have God powers. I mean, you're on a par with each other. You can't really compare it to anybody else because nobody else is theirs.
Well, it's just like, I mean, these people are really powerful.
Yeah,
in
like
this
they're
movie.
like no one shoots lightning and hits a million ships
these
ever. In
people-
Well, that's
those
different.
movies.
He
Really
drained
powerful.
both of them, and then
And they were supposed to
he's
be
him
some
on top
sort
of
of
that.
once in a millennium thing with the
Exactly.
two of them,
Yeah. That all
Together they had
these
so much
things
power,
combined
like, yeah.
just makes them having like ultra super force powers. I thought was just kind of cool.
Right.
I mean, it was really just him.
What didn't you like about the movie?
Except when she stopped the ship. That was.
See, that's what's harder for me to think about. It's easier for me to think about what I did like,
I mean,
because,
Well, if there was nothing that
also, like-
blaringly was bad for you,
And I
then that
don't-
means you liked the movie.
and I don't really remember it.
It's all going through the same channel. Just wait your turn.
I saw it last week on Thursday, so I don't really remember it that much.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the film's editing.
that you
That
don't.
these
Well, you don't-
big moments that we
And
remember
I
stand
usually
out.
don't there have been times where we review a movie like the next day and I don't remember much of it.
Right,
I just
right.
Yeah, his memory's not the best.
yeah.
So,
Oh, whatever.
that's fine.
You'll remember it if it's really good, though.
Yeah.
And it's not.
So I guess that says something about this movie. I don't remember
I'm not saying it's
most
bad.
of it.
Right,
It's not
right.
really good.
Yeah, I'm not
But,
saying
like,
it's bad. I just can't
I don't know.
remember
What did you
anything.
dislike?
Yeah, I remember.
What was your biggest issue with this movie?
One of the big blaring issues that I had, and I'm not upset they did it, but Carrie Fisher just looks composited in there. She doesn't look. Some of the scenes where they do it, she looks like she's really there.
Because some of them,
But most of
is-
it looks like she's just pasted in there. And I totally understand why they did it. I don't have a problem with them doing it, but it looked fake. And I was like, she's dead. And it didn't take me, they didn't suspend my disbelief. She wasn't really in those scenes. They just
some
took.
of them, yeah.
No,
just,
but
like,
most of them, they
deleted.
just took.
Yeah.
They just took her and wrote dialogue around the stuff that they didn't use in the other movie and then placed her in there. And it doesn't look like she's there. It looks like she's composited in. I don't really, I don't know.
She's
Not
like
much
glowing.
to work with,
Yeah. It's just,
do what you can
And I
do.
thought that they did the scene where they did like
If
the
she died
flashback
and lost child,
to Leia and Luke training. I thought that looked good.
yeah.
That looked.
It was 2
Oh,
seconds.
I was about to
flashback,
say,
it was
I
dark.
think that was the worst looking part of the movie.
I
Just
thought
because
Luke looked good. But
No,
I don't
I
think
thought
she did.
the model
Yeah,
of
Luke-
Luke's face, like the modeling was fine, but Leia's face was really bad.
Yeah.
Leia
It was
did
like
look good.
Chewbacca on this is like that
She
level
looked,
bad.
yeah, she
Yeah.
looked like a cartoon.
But then
But Luke's
the
face
lighting
was-
on both of them was also just bad.
Well,
yeah.
And
those are-
I wonder
mean,
if
it's hard
they
to
made
do.
it like, because it is like a dark scene where you can't see much and you only see their face for like a second. They probably did that because it doesn't look the best.
I did like that Rey was actually getting some training in this movie, which she hasn't had ever.
Yeah, and well,
So that would
she
make
did,
sense
like-
that she.
No, she didn't.
Okay.
I mean, she had a little bit with Luke, but
No,
nothing
not she.
serious. I like that she actually, they implied that she had been training with Leia for a while, so I like that.
And I
thought
feel
that was
like with Leia, it doesn't. I don't know. There just wasn't much there because they never like really showed her training and never really touched on that at all. It was just like, oh, she has.
Return
force.
of the
They can't,
Jedi.
though. They can't though. 'Cause she's dead. They can't film it.
Yeah, but like
Return of the
all
Jedi.
3 movies.
Return of the Jedi. They said it. He said it. Luke said it
Said
to
what?
her. In time, you will learn to use the power too. He implied he was
Yeah.
going to teach
But
her.
then the thing that you're always
So
talking
it
about
works.
anytime we talk about these movies is that scene where she's flying around in space. That's some bull. You just say it because you.
I don't have a
Yeah,
problem.
we're not talking about that movie.
I
I
don't
know,
have.
but we're talking about all of them. This is
I
just a
don't-
Star Wars podcast.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I think to some degree we should
Yeah.
wrap up the whole trilogy.
Yeah,
and how we
yeah,
I
feel
don't
about
really
the whole
have
thing.
a problem with
There's
the
a-
concept of somebody being able to use the force
can.
to
It's a
keep
thing.
themselves from dying in space, but I think
That-
it would be a
It's
quick
a
thing.
thing.
It shouldn't have been
Listen-
like a.
No, it was filmed bad.
It was. I think the idea is fine. The execution was just
Yeah.
really bad because she looked like a puppet or something
Yeah.
weird. Like,
Yeah.
Wanna be Mary Poppins?
yeah.
Say the thing so that you can.
It is a thing. It does exist. It's just the top. It's the hardest thing to do.
It's the highest level of the.
And
the
she,
Force.
in this movie, they said she quit her training. She didn't finish it. She wasn't on Luke's level. You think she can do that?
But maybe it's only the hardest thing to do because you have to work against gravity, and there's very little gravity in space.
Not unless
Or maybe, or maybe it's the hardest thing for a man.
I was just about to say it's because she's
in
a
Last
woman.
Jedi, there's
Ooh.
plenty of gravity in space and air, so don't worry about it.
The Last
What?
Jedi.
When those
'cause
bombers,
the sound.
The bombers,
no,
the gravity in
bombers.
space.
and then when
True,
the
true.
doors open, there's
Yeah.
nothing there.
No, I
It's space.
remember thinking that.
And she's
at the
just kind
beginning
of
that
walking
movie.
around.
That would have been fine.
You would.
That would have been fine if they had like if all the people got out of the room and there were like rockets on the bottom of the bombs to shoot them.
No,
Like,
they're magnetic.
They would have
Yeah,
done
if they
something.
had made it make sense, it
they're
would have made sense.
magnetic.
Did
They
they-
said it in a magazine.
Did they s-
They're magnetic.
So they didn't even say that in the movie.
Wait, wouldn't it magnetize its own ship?
Yeah, but hey, whatever.
No, it doesn't make
Oh.
sense because there
No, it
wasn't a
doesn't.
writer. There's no writers. It's just a boardroom.
No, there's Ryan Johnson.
No, that was Johnson.
Yeah.
He came up with all that stuff, man.
Yeah, what was wrong with the Y-wing?
What was wrong with the Y-wing?
What was wrong with the Y wing?
Ryan Johnson.
You know, it was designed to fix that problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know.
By who? Designed by who?
George Lucas. No.
I'm not gonna hate on Johnson that much because I do really like his movies.
I thought.
Yeah, but not that one.
Knives Out was great.
Yeah, I'm
we
sure it
haven't seen
was.
that
I
one
still
yet.
haven't seen that.
Would recommend.
Yeah, I want to see. But like,
Looper is fantastic. It's a great movie.
sure
Looper's
it is.
pretty good.
You know what Looper isn't?
Yeah. What?
You know what Looper isn't?
The Last Jedi.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
It's good though.
he should stay away from Star Wars.
He still wants to do his
Yeah, and
little
no,
trilogy of his own.
no.
I was gonna say earlier, like, because they say
So
it's the end
people
of the
can yell Chrome
Skywalker
Dome?
saga. Does that mean they're gonna make more Star Wars movies in like a couple
Yes.
years?
They should take a break for a while. I think.
They are, and
They
yes.
need a new director who actually will have a
They have
plan
the
Is
for
it gonna be the
multiple
Mandalorian
Palpatine
movies.
saga now?
Yeah, no,
You
but
know
they'll
what?
fire him.
Are they still
I
gonna
would
have
say-
Rey? Or are they gonna do more new stuff?
It's like it's not the director of the movies; it's the director of the franchise that needs.
Yeah,
to
but
have
she's
a
an
good
idiot.
idea.
So
We should get
What?
Are they
the Marvel guy. Kevin
are they gonna
Feige.
continue with like Rey and
Yeah,
Finn
get
and
a-
stuff, or are they gonna make new characters?
I don't care because I don't like Rey and Finn.
I actually liked Rey in this movie.
Yes,
I hadn't really
but
liked
as
her
a
character
whole, I don't like
in the
it.
other two, but this one I actually felt for her character.
The beginning of
Even
Force
Finn
Awakens.
too. Finn I didn't care about in the first two movies. This one I kind of did.
Yeah, because it's better. But
Yeah.
the beginning of Force Awakens, she's fine. The second half, what was that garbage?
Yeah.
I closed my eyes and I'm stronger than you now. Ah.
Because she was using the Force.
She let the Force in. Shut up.
But that's that's
No.
just what they did, man.
Yeah, and what they did was dumb.
Yeah. I get that. I get it.
Okay, what they did.
So let's
Wesley has big problems with the writing of these movies.
yes,
and that's
and
about
the
it.
direction of them and the
Yeah.
acting and the
He has a
Abrams-
problem with everything in this
everything about these movies, man.
Abrams
y'all
looked
gotta-
at it as like, just a little fun adventure, right? Ryan Johnson. So I'm gonna make you think. You want this,
Subvert
this,
your
Ha,
expectations.
nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, he took it back and there's no direction anywhere.
Can
Yeah.
you throw me a gummy bear?
Nice. I have to edit that one.
Wait.
Put it in Netflix.
Haha.
Made it into his clothes.
And then they were
Sweet.
supposed to have a third guy. Like,
Yeah, but he quit. He was done. He was
No.
like, forget y'all.
they fired him.
No, he quit. It came out.
Who was it?
That
Wasn't it
Colin,
someone
that-
notable?
That Jurassic World dude. He said, "Nah, screw you.
Oh,
I'm out."
yeah. I mean, like,
I don't care.
I don't
He's
think
like,
he would have made anything better though.
He's
No.
like, I can't. Well, basically, he was like, I can't do what you guys want me to do. Basically,
Yeah.
that was the whole thing. So
Yeah.
we need to part ways because you guys wanted it to go somewhere that I can't go.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. Maybe
They did that to a lot of people.
Maybe his idea would have been bonkers too, but
I mean, they should have had one guy do it, so bring back the dude who made the first one, right?
yeah.
It should have been one guy, or well, at least one
At least
team.
one person deciding
The
where
same
the story
people.
was going
It can be more than one dude. It was always more than one dude.
There really
Yeah,
is
it's
no
a small group.
Yeah.
there is no excuse for that, for not having it planned out to know where the story.
Well, they had
was
to
going
plan
with
out.
Star
They had the
Wars.
name Star Wars, so they thought that would make the money.
Now you do that. Now I know they do that in modern
But you
day.
need-
They do that with other sequels,
Yeah.
other franchises. They never know what the next one's going to be. I get that, but you can't do that with Star Wars. You just have to sort of have a general idea of where you're going.
I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine, but don't continue old things.
Another
Make your own.
Lucasfilm property, Indiana Jones. Every one of them can be different. It's fine. They don't have to even reference each other, and it's fine because it's just about him. But not with Star Wars. There's too much lore involved.
Yeah,
you have to.
The whole idea of these movies is that the family kind of ties it through. There's like a thread going through every single movie. It's like
Right.
Skywalker and the Force, and there's just like
Right.
these central themes that Disney was just like, themes? What? How about fan service? You guys like AT-STs carrying Yoda. I don't know what they did
Not
to
that,
make
but
fan service.
Good enough. They didn't.
Like,
they didn't.
They could have.
They
That
did
would
this
have been
one.
in those movies.
This whole
though.
movie was that.
Yeah.
Well,
all of it.
if you really want to be real, if you look at just like the basic plot outlines of these three movies, they really do mirror the original three films.
For no reason.
Like, there's a lot of stuff. If you really, like, from a distance, look at Empire Strikes Back, look at The Last Jedi, there's a lot of the same
It's the same plotline.
direction. Where in the second movie, they get their butts kicked, you know. In the third one,
Yeah, but you know.
in the
Yeah,
third one,
they don't kill the
people
Emperor
left.
in the second movie.
yeah. Well, but they had a new emperor, so
but he
fine.
hit all the, you
Yeah.
know, all the little plot point things.
Then they had the emperor, so.
The Emperor comes back. Yeah. I don't like that they brought the Emperor back.
Well, as soon as I saw the
trailer.
trailer, and I was like, I heard that they were bringing back Palpatine, and I was like, that's a joke. I literally will not take that seriously at all.
Sitting in biology class, the trailer came out. I
Yeah.
watched it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, I understand what this movie is going to be,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that I'm not going to like it. And I just...
Oh.
It didn't bother me as much as you guys because I had read. I still don't remember the name of that comic book series I read years and years and years before you were
I
born.
pulled it up and you were right. About
Dark
what you said.
Empire is
Yeah,
the name of it.
that sounds right.
Because they did some. I think these people read the Dark Empire because a lot of the stuff seems to be pulled from that, and it was sweet in that comic book. Not so sweet in this one, but I could tell that they kind of.
Well, they didn't explain what he did, you know, so.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's what it is. I like the Dark Empire though. That would have been a sweet movie to make, but they never did.
That's what everybody talked about. Second trailer came out. Everyone.
Dark Empire.
Yeah. Because, well, how's he coming back? And he came back in that, so they referenced that a lot.
I don't understand the whole the thing in his back. What was that?
The crane?
The GLaDOS.
Why is he on a
arm.
jib? Why is he on a jib? I don't get it.
Was he
Because-
like too
Well,
weak to
he
do anything?
needs-
Yeah, his
Well,
body
then who's
is...
moving him around and stuff?
I don't
man?
know.
The
All
real,
those thousands of
the
random
real
people back then.
Palpatine. The
They're-
real Palpatine is like at the
Kid.
end of Man in Black. Man
Oh,
in Black.
he's a
Men
little
in
dude
Black.
in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
Kid. They're not random people.
Who are they?
What are
I
they
mean,
like-
they're random people
what are
by
they, like, all the
definition,
Sith or
but
something?
they're not Sith. They're worshippers.
I think they're people
of
who
it.
lived on that planet because no one had ever been to those planets except Sith.
The-
They probably
yeah.
worship him. You
And
know?
all the Imperial
They're just, you know.
employees that were on all 10,000 Star Destroyers.
Yes.
That were living underground.
Yes. Yes.
Well, those people probably just went ahead and got a life for themselves somewhere.
Like,
They were all killed.
Which, The Mandalorian deals with some of that, and you should watch the show. It's pretty good.
Okay, I don't care.
You know?
See, what I care about is everything that happened before the Empire fell, not after. Because after, well, what happened, they erased it. And see, that was cool. So I don't care what they
Right.
write. It's irrelevant.
You know, Lucas famously, a fan had asked him, you know, what happened afterwards, and he basically said they lived happily ever after. after
Oh, yeah.
after
No.
Return of the Jedi, he was like, no, they lived happily ever after.
No, their kid's evil. They broke up. He went and died on a rock, and
Yeah.
he used the Force too hard and got tired.
I hate how there's like bits
Grandmaster
and
Luke
pieces
Skywalker.
of like a good sequel trilogy within the sequel trilogy. Because I don't know, I just think it should have been like watching Luke train the group that, you know, becomes evil, and then Kylo Ren. Like, that backstory
Yeah, if
part,
they
that
brought it back a little
flashback
bit.
that you see in the beginning of The Force Awakens, or I think,
No, it's...
Or no,
yeah.
in-
No, it's in
Last
there.
Jedi.
in The Last Jedi, I don't know. It's
No,
there's
Force
flashbacks
Awakens
to it in
has,
both.
like, he puts his hand on R2 and
Yeah.
he's looking at the fire.
That
Force Awakens.
that story should have been like the kickoff to this sequel trilogy, is like finding out why Kylo Ren, instead of just kind of starts and Kylo Ren is already a thing, flashback and stuff, like backwards storytelling. I don't know. I
They
just
set
think
it
they're
back a
more
year or two.
interesting. They skipped over the most interesting part of the story. They added fan service at the end to tie it up.
Yep.
I'll tell you one thing I think.
All right.
I think that
That's empty.
Lucasfilm is not, and it's unfair to say Disney, because Lucasfilm is still Lucasfilm, it's just Lucas ain't there. It's run by Kennedy. One thing I think that they, and a lot of, you've seen this when they try to reboot old franchises these days, they want to make them about the new, they want to bring in all these new young characters. I really think
That's
they
like money
missed,
that way.
I really think they missed the boat. Force Awakens, yeah, you could have had some new characters, but I thought they should have been sidelined, and the movie should have been about the original people. Yes, they're all old as sorry, I cursed. They're all old as but come on, man.
I mean, you can't.
Seeing Lando in this film just made me want to see more of him in the film with the other three. That's what it made me want to do.
Yeah.
And I think, I know there were, well, no one's going to want to come see it. There's a bunch of old people. It's Star Wars. Yes, they would have. They would have came in droves to see the original people. And it could have been, that's how you can market it, their last ride. Have them do something. And yeah, some of them could have died because, you know, Harrison Ford been trying to get Han Solo killed since the 80s. So it's like, he could have died in the movie Force Awakens still.
Like, but the thing is, Mark Hamill is in such good shape now. He could have been in all, like, a main star in all three of these movies.
Yeah, they made him get in shape,
and it would have been amazing.
They're like, hey, go work out.
Yeah,
and
and he
so he
did.
could
He
stand
like
on a
got in
rock.
shape for The Last Jedi, and it like.
And I loved Lando in this movie, man. I loved him.
He was good.
Yeah, he's 80 years old. I don't care. He rocks. He's still he's still charismatic. He still says the lines just perfectly.
He's not Solo.
And you know, when
And now he's Donald Glover.
No.
there's that
That didn't happen. That
Glover
movie
was
didn't
fine.
happen.
Glover was alright.
Yeah, but that movie didn't happen.
Yeah, that movie. But
Han Solo started
there's that
to
moment where Lando talks, and he's talking about something that he did with Luke in the past when they had visited that planet together. It just made me want to see them two do something together. I was like, yeah, I'm liking this movie, but I'd much rather it be, you know, the original people doing stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But Hollywood execs don't think that young people will go see that. I'm not going to go see something with old people in it. Yes, ageism is real, but not with Star Wars, you know.
They put on
and
the
there
outfit.
you can always incorporate the new kids.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Have everybody on the ship.
Because
that's-
Kylo Ren would have made like a really great Darth Vader bad guy. Snoke could have been a cool new emperor if they introduced him better and explained him more. But Kylo Ren is like really good in all three of these movies. I love Adam Driver.
Because he's a good actor.
It's just the writing that's just terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they do that with all these. You know, can you imagine? And not to jump ship here, but the whole Ghostbusters thing, it didn't do so well. You know, but imagine if you, and I know Bill Murray was being a little punk, and Harold Ramis is dead. But how much better would that movie have done if you had the old guys putting on the proton packs? How many more people would have gone to see the movie? You know, droves.
Yeah, instead of
You
just
know.
having them do little cameos here and there, it should have been
they
like
should have.
that.
We want to see the damn Ghostbusters. I don't want
Yeah.
to see nothing. I love all those women in that movie, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you're
Well,
not the
not in that movie.
Ghostbusters to me. You're not the Ghostbusters to me.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, what do you think? How do you think the new one's gonna do?
I purposely haven't watched the trailer because I really want there to be a good Ghostbusters movie, but
So you don't even know what it is. You
No,
don't, know
don't
who,
tell me,
You don't know
man.
who the Ghostbusters are now.
I don't want to know.
Have y'all seen it?
No.
I've seen a little tiny bit.
Is
So,
Paul,
like-
is Paul Rudd in it?
Yeah.
I saw it
If Paul Rudd's in it, then I might be okay. Paul Rudd's my man. If you know,
Right.
because I know he was in talks for a little bit to be a Ghostbuster.
Well, I
I'd be
mean-
okay with Paul Rudd. You know,
Well-
He kind of looks like Harold Ramis.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want-
Well, it's not necessarily the old people getting together and becoming the Ghostbusters again.
But Bill Murray doesn't want to do it, so what are you gonna do? You can't force him to.
Say that he died, so he like fell off of a building.
Or he got bit by a
They've
zombie.
done that before. Just kill people off because they don't come back.
Mhm.
Not hard.
Just got bit by a zombie.
But at least this movie takes place in the original universe, right? It's like a
Yeah.
sequel to Ghostbusters 2, which
Yeah.
isn't that good a movie. But, you know, I'd be cool with that. But anyway,
Star Wars.
the
Yeah.
Star Wars, I mean, I'd much rather have seen a bunch of Billy D, Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill. You know, I'd rather see them.
Kill Han, sure, whatever.
You know?
But, like, have him with people.
I think that the way that Luke died was stupid. Like, I think if you're gonna kill Luke anyway, just have him actually show up to the place and die gloriously.
Yeah.
Have him
If
like,
you're gonna bring in teleportation in the next movie, these aren't thought about at all.
Yeah.
no.
Yes,
In
Well, they were
relation to
teleporting
each other,
things,
these
not
movies were not
themselves,
thought about
yeah.
at all.
But in the Dark Empire, force projection was a thing.
I think they're cool
nothing wrong
ideas
with
individually.
I think they were stealing from the Dark
There's
Empire.
nothing
Yeah,
everybody
wrong
was.
with force projection.
I think it's a
There's
cool idea.
something wrong with I got tired, I'm dead now.
Well,
No.
spoilers. Same thing happens with Leia in this movie. She
That's different.
reaches out with the Force and it kills her. You know.
Yoda kind of just dies.
Yoda's 950.
The only Jedi ever to die of natural causes.
Yoda's about 1,000 years old. Yeah, he can die. He was like, I'm done now. I'm going to sleep. And he died.
Yeah.
Right.
I got 2 completely random things to say, so if y'all want to say something.
Hurry up.
All right. 1, I want some combos.
No. I want your nasty food.
Want some combos? All right.
Combos.
We'll want some combos.
They're not actually sponsoring us. None of these people are. But
No, we don't get sponsors.
sorry for just all the junk food today, but
Yeah.
hey, whatever.
And then I was going to say a thing that you said when we saw the last movie is that, so in the last movie, if you haven't seen it and you're watching this for some reason,
What last movie?
the last Star Wars movie,
Last Jedi or this? Or the Rise of Skywalker?
the one before
8 or 9.
8.
Okay.
Last Jedi.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Learn the name.
I'm usually the one that forgets the names. I don't know what you guys say,
In
man.
The Last Jedi, there's that scene where the purple-haired chick flies the
Yeah.
ship into the other one, and I'm gonna tell you what you said and say it would have been so much better if that purple-haired chick was just Akbar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you take that same script and you give all the lines to Akbar and don't even have "I love you, Laura Dern," I do, she's amazing, but take her out
I
of the
didn't
movie.
like her character at all.
Yeah,
anyway.
her
No one does.
But you just have that be Admiral Akbar
He was-
squaring off against Poe through the whole movie, being a curmudgeon, an old guy, not thinking straight. Because I could take it better that he was just this proud old admiral who kept his plans close to the vest, and then at the end sacrificed himself by just blowing through them with that maneuver. I think people would have been more receptive if Admiral Akbar had done it.
Yeah, he was
and
a
had
bit-
done all that stuff.
He was a
Yeah.
bit busy being in space, dead.
being killed
Yeah.
instantly with no fanfare. You know, that was
Off camera.
Yeah, they didn't even show him die. He was
Nobody
just,
knows he's dead.
He was just like,
Then there'd be
"Fine."
memes like, remember Akbar. You know, I mean, it would have been awesome. But no, they just, you know.
No, that just made me think of this movie. Does anyone even remember the spy plot in this movie?
Don't
But
talk about
I'm the spy.
Don't talk. Don't
Yeah,
talk.
what's his name? Hux or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
That character was comic relief anyway. So.
And not good at it.
I think that was
I
the
always
writing
kind
though,
of hated
because
that character. Just,
we were supposed to
Not
hate
you.
him.
No,
I think that was
yeah.
the writing though, the way he says, I just don't want him to win or whatever it was.
That wasn't even like expanded upon, which I kind of wanted to know why.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the whole
because
time.
he didn't like him.
They hated each other. But like, so
He was just a
Yeah,
This dude
you're
is supposed
in
to
the
be Tarkin?
Empire, like,
but he was a jealous guy. He
Yeah.
knew he could never be what Kylo is. And-
I don't know. There's not enough for me.
No, it's bad. It's bad.
Exactly, but I
Yeah.
think that was a good idea. It just wasn't fleshed out.
Yeah.
yeah, it
But I like the way he
not
got killed. It's just like that dude was. That wasn't enough of him, but that
I
dude was
found
badass.
the spy.
Found a spy. Didn't even look at him. Just.
that's all you need to do. He was a stupid, useless character. Get rid of him.
Oh,
This guy's Tarkin.
the Poe's girlfriend with the helmet on the entire movie.
Yeah.
And here's a magic coin that'll bring you literally anywhere you want to go in the Empire. Just take it. I don't want mine anymore.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the idea,
Yeah.
you know, it's just.
That's all I have to say about the movie.
I was-
is
I
those
was-
two things.
I was
apparently.
really hoping she was going to be Mara Jade, but hey, you know that's okay.
Yeah, no, they can't do that.
They're not going to bring Mara Jade.
Not
into the
allowed.
movie. I
Not
know,
allowed.
I know, but because I love her, she's a good actor, man. I was like, I wish that she got to take her helmet off. You know.
Nah, she don't need to.
Beautiful eyes, though. The woman has beautiful eyes.
Yeah,
And
that's
she
all you
was
got to
good
see.
in the movie. You know who I thought the other new character I thought was really good.
The
The
Little alien guy.
no,
oh,
yeah, he was
the
awesome.
black chick,
Yeah.
The black woman.
whatever her
yeah.
name is.
She was great in the movie, but because all the interviews I saw, she must have been hyper nervous or something. She seemed annoying to me.
I've only
Sorry,
really seen her
actress.
in like 2
She ain't
things.
gonna watch this anyway. But I'm sorry, you're. No. But the her performance I thought was really good. I liked the dynamic between when they were talking to each other about how they were both stormtroopers
Yeah.
before. That was, give me more of that.
I
man.
want emotion and people talking to each other and connecting.
That felt so real compared
Yeah.
to a lot of the other conversations in the movie. I was like, this is, and then it's done. They're off to something else.
This
you know?
whole movie is fleeting. Every moment,
Yeah.
good or bad, is gone before you can even grasp it.
So the
Yeah.
bad moments don't matter that much because they're about to be gone anyway. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, let's review the film. Let's review. What's your review?
I'll say worth the popcorn.
A graphic comes up.
Yeah, but you go like this. We can't do the same thing for Bomb Diggity
Yes,
and
we
worth the
can.
popcorn. Not worth the popcorn.
What do you want to do?
The
This?
graphic animation.
What do you want to
Yeah,
do?
but, like,
What do you want to do?
I don't care.
Or let's do it again. Let's try it again. Chiron guy, let's do it again. What do you want to do?
I don't have
I don't know,
the
like-
answer.
So
Do
worth
this
the
for
popcorn.
eating popcorn.
But
Okay, go.
Does it matter?
yes.
Talk.
Point is,
Make it come out of your
Or
mouth.
shut up.
Okay.
point is, movie was worth the popcorn.
Okay, go
Does
ahead.
it go that way or does it go that way?
I don't care. Just go
Okay,
ahead.
point is,
And
the
tell
movie
what
was
briefly.
worth the popcorn because it's a new Star Wars movie. It's not that good. It's like you go in there, you finish it, and you're like, eh.
That was not that.
It was better than the other ones, so it gets a worth the popcorn.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
So
I'd
same,
be okay
same,
with that.
Same thing.
I'm gonna say worth the popcorn. The reason I'm gonna say worth the popcorn because it's worth the popcorn. It's a good popcorn movie. It was awesome, man. I enjoyed yes, it's mindless fun, but I had a lot of fun watching it. And there's a lot of classic Star Wars moments in the movie that just I really liked it.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
We saw it on like opening night, and there was of course a bunch of people clapping and cheering all multiple times, all the time throughout this movie.
Right. Yeah, and I didn't clap or I laughed at something. I can't remember what it was, but I just really enjoyed myself watching this movie. Is it a good movie? Probably not. But it's well made. It's not well paced, and I think it's well acted, but it's badly written. So I think there's enough here for me to really enjoy the movie. I'm not necessarily recommending you go see it, but I, as a lifelong Star Wars fan, I'm the only one in this room who can take it back to the 70s. I was in the theater for the first one, 70s. Before you were even an itch in my pants, I was a Star Wars fan, you know what I'm saying?
I had Clone Wars. I don't care.
Yeah. Y'all didn't know nothing about Star Wars till I introduced you,
I had Clone Wars. I don't care.
But anyway, so as a lifelong Star Wars fan from when I was 7 years old, that's when I saw the first one in the theater. I enjoyed watching this movie. It gave me everything I needed from a Star Wars film, but not anything else. So I enjoyed it. Worth popcorn.
Go ahead.
No, come on. You didn't rate the Joker.
What is it?
Yeah, and I'm not
It's a
doing
dog
this
in the street
either.
or
I am
something?
conflicted, and that is my answer.
That's a misfire, though. You could say it's a misfire. And
No,
worth
no.
popcorn.
I don't know how I feel about this movie. I don't have an answer.
I mean,
He's gonna need to make a new graphic.
isn't that what
I don't know what I feel about this
We'll,
movie.
we'll give you a nice, little question mark.
No, I'm confused. I have been since I watched.
Confused.
And that's
Do we need to go see it again? Is that the problem?
I'm going to, but
Okay.
Text me when.
I feel you.
I need to see it again for my own
Yeah.
I think
research
we're all
purposes.
Gonna
Yeah.
see it again. I'm seeing it with Grandma.
I don't need to see it again. I like the movie. I'm done.
yeah, shut up.
All right. William?
It's a misfire. Have it come out of my mouth.
It's just a bunch of... That's what
Oh, well,
You don't
make
even
it
watch
get
our
big
show.
out of my mouth then.
It's-
It's a misfire. I think the whole trilogy was a misfire.
Yeah.
And basically should have had a plan from the start. This movie is the result of the last two movies. And with that in mind, I enjoyed it for the visuals. I liked the fights. I didn't like the context in which the fights were happening. I liked Ian McDiarmid's performance as the Emperor. I thought the Emperor was stupid to be in this movie. There's just
Agreed.
writing decisions that I hate and visual things that I thought were pretty good. Enjoyed it for what it was. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone who is very analytical about plot and Star Wars. I would recommend it to the average person.
Alright.
What?
Still nothing?
I don't. Your little categories, no.
Well, I'll let you invent a category
I'm
for
not
yourself if you want.
doing it like that.
Question mark.
Yeah, that's all I need. But you look at this movie as the wrap up of the sequel thing. It's good. It works. It's fine. It ends it. It brings it together. Not that it was ever together in the first place, but whatever. As a whole saga, 1 to 6, it's done. That's it. That ended it. Movies are over. No more. Return of the Jedi was a actual ending to. It felt like it ended it. You know, prequels included. Like it all works.
Yeah. There's a story that you follow from 1 to 6. There's a bunch of weird stuff that happens in between 6 and 7.
Yeah. 9 doesn't feel like it's ending. It's an inclusion of the whole saga. It's just there. It's like the sequels branched off. It's over. The sequels over here, and 1 to 6 is here. And it like these work together, and then these work together. It doesn't work all like no.
That's a good way to put it.
Maybe they shouldn't have marketed it as,
but it is
a conclusion to the Skywalker saga because it's really not.
As far as that, but it is
kinda,
because it's the end.
She's a Skywalker now. It's not over.
She's not.
She calls herself one.
She's not.
Why is it? Why is it a conclusion if she's still a Skywalker?
Because if they don't continue that.
Because they're all dead? Is that why?
They are.
All the Skywalkers are
gone.
dead? But she's taken that on herself to be a Skywalker.
No, Star Wars is dead. It died with him.
No, the Mandalorian rocks, man. I'm telling you.
That's
good
not.
show.
I don't care. That's the Star Wars universe. That's not. That's not.
Not the Skywalker thing.
And that's what Star Wars is.
And that may be why. What's so great about the Mandalorian it doesn't have anything to do with.
That's why it works.
Skywalkers.
That is true.
Because if they're going to make things, they can't touch him.
Because we were talking the other day about how not everybody likes the Mandalorian, but pretty much people who love the new sequels love the Mandalorian, and people who hate the new sequels love the Mandalorian. So they obviously did something right with that.
Also,
So if they're going to continue it, maybe they should go in that vein, you know. And it's not like the Force isn't in that show. It is. But it's just not a Skywalker. It's not them. It's a new.
And that's
they can't make Baby Yoda multiple seasons. I think.
Yeah,
they can't make saving Baby Yoda
I think Baby
the
Yoda
whole
should
show.
get capped like end of the season, next episode.
Oh no!
I have not seen. There's
Can't
6
keep him
episodes out,
alive.
right?
There's 7.
I have only seen 5. I think so. Just by the
Don't
way.
kill Baby Yoda.
But he kind of needs to go.
He doesn't need to go.
Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
The last.
Oh. Well, they didn't care about the continuity of those movies anyway.
Yes, but
Baby Yoda's not a Jedi.
Mandalorian. He's a
Well,
Yoda.
Baby Yoda will live through the whole sequel trilogy, and then
and
then
he'll be
in
like
200 years become a Jedi.
I was about to say it'd be kind of funny if like in the 9th one, if they had some reference to Baby Yoda of like him being an adult being there.
Well, he wouldn't be an adult, first of all.
He's, you know, because he's 50 years old on the show.
He'd be like,
you know,
I don't know the exact time period the show is.
The show is right after Return of the Jedi.
Like right after?
Yeah.
Well, then he'd be, what, 70, 80?
He'd be a toddler.
Yeah.
He's a toddler now, though, so it's.
He would not be grown.
Yeah. Because, like, you know, we've only seen.
It's 30 years.
Unless the adolescence is like right between 50 and 70.
Because we've only seen
Who knows?
two of them.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
We've only seen 2 of them in the like
early.
movies.
Yeah. And they were both old and grown.
And did the other one even really like?
Yaddle is irrelevant.
She didn't really do anything. Yeah.
Yaddle is
She
irrelevant.
is a hologram in one scene and
No,
doesn't say anything.
She's there.
Because I mean, I
Oh, you're
remember
right. Yoda
but-
is, or someone's hologram.
seeing that movie at a young age. I just
with the
thought
hair.
I thought it was a boy with a mullet.
Yeah.
She didn't matter at all, so I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was
I
a dude.
didn't know it was a girl until people told me it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, just thought it was a
I thought it was just a
Yoda
little
with a
Yoda
mullet.
with a mohawk, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I found that to be funny.
What is Yoda's species? Yoda?
Nobody knows.
I just call him Yoda.
Yeah. Because he's the only one that matters.
But I've been wanting them to have other Yodas for years. I always thought that would be very, interesting.
Yeah.
I guess.
Than to keep throwing up new Skywalker threads. Like,
It's their story.
no, but that in the entire universe,
The
only
rise of
Skywalkers can have the Force. That's just garbage, man.
It's not. That's it's not
like
what they
it's
say.
like Bushes and Clintons. No, we just got to keep going back and forth. No, we don't.
When was that
Palpatine and Skywalkers.
Nobody
No, we
When
don't.
was
said
that a
that.
thing? When was that a thing?
What?
Only Skywalkers.
It's because
The
they're the,
whole
only
dang-
ones they talk about.
Yeah.
And within the new series.
In just
you know,
the
that's
9
all-
movies, the Skywalker
It's
is
always
just the
got to be
only.
Skywalkers.
Yeah.
But-
I'm like,
Darth
I'm done with
Vader
them.
is
I
secretly
mean,
Skywalker.
But if you have 2 Sith and that's it, I mean, if one of them Skywalker, one of them is, I mean, come on, he's the best. So the other one isn't.
I'm just saying.
Snoke never
in the
was.
entire galaxy, you
No.
can't have anybody else be a
Wait.
Sith. It has to be a Palpatine or a Skywalker.
There's
Well, if
only
you played
2.
the games, Craig, you would know that in The Force Unleashed, Darth Vader actually has a secret apprentice.
Who is
I
a
don't remember
Jedi? Ultimately,
He died though, so it doesn't matter.
What is his name? I need to
Galen
replay
Merrick.
His name is Starkiller.
His name is Galen Merrick.
His name was Starkiller.
His name is Galen Merrick.
Wow.
Starkiller.
His name is Starkiller.
His name is Galen Merrick. The clone is Starkiller.
Because Luke's original name.
Because he's a clone in the second Force Unleashed.
And then if
in
you do the bad guy
script
ending,
for Star Wars, it was Luke Starkiller, but
Yeah.
he was like, "No, I don't want that. I want Skywalker instead."
Yeah.
So that's why they called him Starkiller.
yes, and that's his apprentice name. That's his bad guy name. If you do the bad guy ending, you become that. But his name is Galen Merrick.
Also, in the original Star Wars, Leia just calls Darth Vader Darth,
Yep.
like as if it's his name. And then they add in later that every Sith has to go by Darth.
Yep. I mean, it works.
That it's like a surname and stuff.
Because they never said the Emperor's name. So the second Sith was, or well, you know, the second Darth spoken as Darth was Maul. So
It's just kind of funny. I'm
it
just
works.
pointing it out.
Yeah.
I was just checking the batteries and all the cameras.
I think a lot of this, I don't know how much you're gonna cut, but
Yeah. A lot of it.
I might
Keep
just
it all.
I might just let it roll, man.
Yeah.
5 people gonna
I
watch
mean-
it anyway. I ain't worried about it.
I mean, it's a podcast. Usually, you don't really
Yeah.
like, cut much out of podcasts.
we get between 30 to 100 views usually. Sometimes we take off, you know.
Cut out
Get
Ghostbusters.
500 to 1,000, but
already up there in the 10,000s.
RD is in the 10,000s. Yes, it is, but that's a different story.
Anyway,
So we're all like,
there's
Rise of Skywalker. Yeah,
there's one thing.
it's fun. Oh, go ahead. But with some energy and quicker,
Hang on, shut up.
without the.
You can cut out 10 seconds of nothing.
But that's a lot.
he's
of
got to
10 seconds.
find this 10 seconds.
yeah, yeah, he's gonna enjoy himself finding 10
No,
seconds.
I'm not.
Yeah, no.
Be like, okay, let me tell you something.
Shut up, I think. So
Hey, man.
Hey, it's still cartoon.
Come on, man.
anyway,
Can you talk, please?
there's the issue of him,
What?
Darth Vader, Anakin.
Is the issue how in this movie?
Yeah.
Because they smashed his helmet.
They blew his helmet. His helmet's gone. They got Death Starred.
Dude,
But
Yeah,
no,
but
that's
Man, maybe somebody
secretly
secretly grabbed it.
survived.
So the
Big,
Emperor
huge
survived.
things survived the Death Star.
The
Big,
Emperor-
huge sections of the Death Star don't really get obliterized when
Yeah.
we see them get
What, the
vaporized.
Emperor's body himself also survived the Death Star explosion, apparently.
yeah. Oh no,
Hey,
no.
maybe
He said he
just-
died. He said he
He
died.
said he died.
But he's like a zombie, man. I don't know. It's so weird.
Well,
Well,
Sith-
read the Dark Empire. They show you how it works, but
That's a clone. That don't count.
you know.
I read
there's
the I read
proof
the
he
clone
cloned.
theory. I read the
There's
whole
no
thing.
proof he's cloned. A rebel said it. That doesn't mean he's cloned. Then you don't know what he did.
Right.
I mean, there's Sith. They like Maul survives because he was mad. Like he falls down that hole. He should be dead, but he's
so
not
angry
because
that, see, that's lame. I don't like that.
they've been doing that the whole time.
That's lame. So
That's why Padme died, was because she was sad.
his hatred kept him alive.
That's
I
what.
always thought
That's
that
how
was
Sith
lame.
work. It's
That's-
always been a thing. One of them lived and his body was dead. His body was decomposing, and he was just kind of hanging out.
Mm.
He would like play dead and kill people when they came in the room.
I mean, it is possible because from the time the Emperor's thrown down that shaft to the time they leave, there's a lot of time for somebody
Yeah.
to get his carcass and take it off
There's-
the Death Star. There is.
But he said he died.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved those like vats with the Snoke bodies in them at the beginning of this movie.
See, I've heard about those, but I must have missed it.
Yeah, they're really dark. It's a dark scene. You gotta like look for them. But there's 2 of them in one vat, and they're not like, you know how in like the back to tanks and stuff, people are like floating,
Yeah.
and they're like controlled. No, these ones were just kind of like
Yep.
decaying in this vat.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just funny. As soon as the movie opens, you just see that, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I understand like what's happening here.
Opened on Mustafar, actually.
I was just vibing.
But anyway, a lot of people don't like the movie. They don't matter, but yeah, you have your groups that don't like it, the group of people that like it, it's whatever. Like it, don't like it, I don't care. But a lot of the ones who don't like it, they bring up him and his legacy is, because it was always his story before this.
But he's dead.
Shut up. It's his kids. It's still his.
But he's dead.
It's his legacy.
Yeah.
It's his prophecy.
Not anymore. Now it's Luke's,
No.
Yeah.
Anakin has and always will be the chosen one.
Well, that's just kind of
Who killed him?
the whole sequel trilogy kind of didn't need to exist, which I think is your whole argument.
Yeah, that's it. They didn't.
But I don't think
justify
they
its
were going to
existence
make
at all.
this sequel
Yeah.
trilogy
No,
be
it
about
doesn't
Anakin.
need
You've
to
had
be
six
about
movies about
Anakin.
Anakin.
Honestly,
No.
I never liked Hayden Christensen,
Yeah,
but when I heard
yeah.
his voice in the cloud of voices, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but
Right,
they
yeah.
could have done that a lot better. But
Well, Wesley,
what do you want? I'm speaking.
I hate this one. The point is,
Here, let's trade.
is that
Hurry up.
it's on the bottom.
Talk.
Yeah. So I'm saying is what exactly does the chosen one mean? I knew it. but I
He's
just
the one
forgot
that
it.
brings balance to the Force.
What he said.
Yeah, I always thought that was some
Yeah, I'm sure you
mumbo
did.
jumbo anyway. I didn't think it
Yeah.
meant anything.
Well, it
I
does.
thought it was just like a prophecy that they just kind of made up themselves to feel, because Jedi at that point were kind of just going through the motions. They had been
No, the prophecy was
ruling
way
for
before
1,000 years, so they were just kind of like,
The prophecy was way before the movies.
yeah, but they all knew about it though. They just didn't take it seriously because they didn't need it.
Yeah, but Qui-Gon was the most Jedi out of every Jedi on screen.
Qui-Gon was a punk, man.
I don't care.
Qui-Gon
That
was a
doesn't
punk,
change
dude.
the fact that Qui-Gon Jinn was the most like a Jedi.
Is that his lightsaber or Luke's
That's
lightsaber?
just a thing.
I don't know.
There's no lightsaber.
It's
This
just
is Darth Vader's lightsaber. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys.
This is supposed to be, but it's Qui-Gon's.
Oh.
It's Qui-Gon's, but red.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wouldn't surprise me if Qui-Gon had some bread in his lightsaber, little punk.
that's not how it works.
He trained Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I won't let anyone say anything bad about my boy Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, so shut
I
up.
love Obi-Wan Kenobi.
So don't be
All the
hating,
iterations of him have been great.
don't
I
be
like
hating on Qui-Gon.
No,
man.
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon served the Force, and only the Force, whereas every other Jedi was corrupted
That's
by
true.
the government.
Didn't stop him from being a little whiny
I
punk,
don't
though.
care. What
The
point
whole
does that have
other
to do with
dialogue
anything?
in that movie sucks, dude.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
All the dialogue.
Yeah, it does.
They're all boring, flat characters.
Yeah.
In all three of those movies.
They are. That doesn't.
Yeah.
Except for Obi-Wan.
I like Revenge of the Sith though. I do really like. There's only two things about that movie I don't like, and it's the
We know.
no. I can't.
We know.
And then the other one, I know you disagree.
You haven't seen it.
I know
in
you disagree.
10 years.
But at
You're
the end,
wrong.
where Yoda's like telling, because Yoda knows that Obi-Wan got to go be by himself for years on Tatooine, so he's like, you'll be able to connect with it. He said, Qui-Gon?
He didn't say it like that,
Yes,
and
he
that's not
did.
what the
Yes, he
conversation
did.
was about.
Qui-Gon?
That's not what the conversation's about.
Because he's all mopey like,
That-
Qui-Gon?
Again, that's not what the conversation's about. You're wrong.
That movie sucked.
You haven't seen the movie
That scene sucked.
in 10 years.
But I love that movie though.
I don't care.
That's the one I love.
I don't
You
care.
know why the prequels are good? Because Star
They're not.
Wars Battlefront 2 couldn't exist without the prequels.
He's right.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 is
Yeah.
one of the greatest video games that has ever been made.
At least the worlds look decent. So then my biggest problem with the prequels is that they look so bad.
Yeah.
The green screen work is bad. They just look like they're walking in front of green screen. It doesn't look real.
And
Any
there's
of it.
like
man.
I don't know, they don't even utilize it to interesting. They like you could have just found a cool hallway, but no,
Yeah.
like let's make a boring hallway in the green
Right.
screen room.
And and the actors, a lot of them are wooden because they have nothing
Yeah.
tangible around them. They're in front of green screens
There's
and
this
tennis
like,
balls. They
famous
don't.
gif that I've seen of like when Obi-Wan is facing off with General Grievous, and then they show the behind the scenes, and he's literally like inches away from a wall, and he's looking at like a dot, and he has to like,
Right.
he has to react. And so in the movie, literally, General Grievous like does this whole thing, and Obi-Wan just goes, because he was just in front of a blue screen.
Right. Yeah, Sam Jackson, as much as everybody loves Sam Jackson, his lightsaber work in that is foul because, you know, in those movies, because he's just going, there's nothing around him. I'm like, dude, George. And you know, the battle scenes, I've said it before a lot, especially in the Phantom Menace, it's like, for me it was like watching Toy Story, man. They're just animated movies. Basically, oh, it's cartoon time now. You know, I want to see some people. You know, I'm sorry, I do. That whole Gungan battle droid thing, it was like watching Toy Story, man. I hated it. I couldn't stand it. But I like the Duel of the Fates. Darth Maul battle was pretty sweet. You know, the little lightsaber battle was nice. So
It wasn't organic at all.
but it was entertaining.
The movie that you're supposed to talk about, not that one.
We're regressing
Yeah,
into all the movies now.
because he doesn't like Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
No, I didn't really like his character. I didn't like the way it was realized. No.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
It's okay
you
for me
talk.
not to like
Yeah,
Qui-Gon.
it doesn't mean you need to talk about Phantom Menace for 20 minutes. That's not.
I didn't talk about Phantom Menace for 20 minutes.
You did.
Thank you very much.
Now,
It was only 12 minutes.
Yeah.
We can
Thank
check,
you very much.
check the record.
So what's your problem? What's your problem?
Qui-Gon,
And then you
is-
start talking about Qui-Gon.
because you cut it off. Now shut
All right,
up.
Go ahead.
Qui-Gon, how he acts does not matter. And his character was changed later because, you know, that movie has restrictions because it was Phantom Menace. Everybody acts weird, especially the kid. That's not what matters. What matters is him.
Anakin.
Yes. Now, see, Anakin Skywalker, it was his story. And then the sequels are about his kids' kids. That's his grandkids.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Huh.
People have issues. You know, 'cause if Palpatine's back, he didn't do anything. If Palpatine didn't die, or I mean, if he came back like 2 minutes later, and then the Empire never died, the Sith never died, nothing happened. Like, they just went into hiding for 30 years. They came back. They took over the galaxy
Well, it's because
again.
they got their butts kicked.
Yeah, but
And they had to go regroup. For
yeah, but
30
they
years.
won. That was before
But you're
these
saying
movies
that
happened.
In
they
the
had
long
won.
run, they won. And that Anakin's sacrifice meant nothing.
Not if nobody died, which nobody died.
Right.
Nobody stayed dead anyway. So,
So that you see,
and then
that's a
Rey
problem.
killing him. Rey brings balance to the Force. Now that's the one thing they did right. This movie ends in balance.
Okay. In the Jedi's term of what balance is.
In a normal person's idea of balance. If you think the world's balanced with empires and Sith running around, sure, you can think that.
I don't really know what they mean by balance.
I told you.
Yeah, but okay.
Lucas described the Sith as cancer. That's how he
I
said
know
it.
what Craig's saying. Like, the Jedi want you to think that balance means only Jedi.
Well,
But we know
No.
balance.
it just means no
what
Sith.
what about the Gray Jedi though? Or do they just not exist in?
They're, I don't know.
They probably don't
Disney's
exist
Disney.
they probably don't exist in the movie world. So
Ahsoka
we
was
shouldn't bring them in.
Ahsoka borderline was doing
Gray,
that
because she quit.
because she, yeah, but then she comes back, but she has to leave again because it's
Oh,
established in
Mace
Rebels that she
Windu.
left. But hey, whatever.
Why is Mace Windu lightsaber purple?
Shut up.
Because he's a pimp,
Sam Jackson said, "Give me a purple one."
Yeah, that's why.
and they did.
Yep. But
he's Sam Jackson. Come on, man. He's
Yeah.
a pimp.
no, but so all these voices talk to her at the end, and yeah, it's fine, it's cool. But I mean, a lot of them didn't need to be there. Kanan. You know who Kanan is?
I do not know.
Exactly.
What does that mean exactly? Like I'm stupid? 'Cause I
No,
don't
no,
know
like
Kanan.
Kanan's stupid. Like Kanan shouldn't have been there.
Was Kanan in there?
Yeah.
Is he from like one of them shows?
Yeah.
See, I stopped watching. I didn't watch Rebels or the.
Rebels is bad. Rebels
What's the
is
other
stupid.
one? What's the
Clone
other one?
Wars.
Clone Wars is
No, I
perfect.
watched Clone Wars.
What do you mean?
I watched.
make another
I
one.
know.
Clone
I'm
Wars.
saying there's not another.
There wasn't another one.
There's technically another one, but it
Yes, there
lasted
is.
for like a week.
Yeah, but what was
There
it?
was also a
Resistance.
Clone Wars movie that was released in theaters.
That doesn't
Yeah, we saw
matter.
that. Because that was like the
That was-
beginning of the
Yeah.
show,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for what it is.
Yeah, if you're,
Yeah,
you know,
was a little
5.
kid, we went and saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Clone Wars took a minute to figure out their audience. The first couple seasons, not the best.
Well,
but-
the original Clone Wars was that cartoon, that hand drawn
Yeah,
stuff. And that was
and-
great.
Oh
love
yeah,
that
I
stuff.
haven't even seen that.
I
but
love
know
that,
it's-
man. That was
yeah.
great.
I've seen what I need to see. You know?
Those were nice, man. I like those, but
Yeah.
they didn't care about those.
And then they pulled the rights. Well, I don't know what happened.
Well,
They just ran its course. You know, hand drawn animation doesn't run for years unless you're a Simpson.
also, I mean, it served its purpose
It was good though.
because that's in between 2 and 3. Like,
But what it's gonna drive me nuts now. There was Rebels and there was something else.
there's a Resistance. It's called Resistance.
Really? So that's
And
probably what I'm thinking
it
about.
sucked.
I don't even remember that being a thing.
Yeah, because it wasn't. It lasted for a whole week. I mean, it's not literally a week, but
Like one season.
I
They
don't
were
know
done?
because I refuse to watch it
Okay.
because I don't like the Resistance.
Okay.
And Rebels sucked. So why would I watch this garbage?
Jack has texted me his opinion of the Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
You think I'm allowed? You think he'd be okay with? Oh, I'll say it. I'll just say it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Rise of Skywalker had really cool visuals and cosmic stuff. Absolutely whack pacing and story, but it was fun.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is basically what all of us have said here today.
Yep.
So.
But anyway, so
Jack is another member of Cinematic Otherworld. You should check out their channel.
And the other guy.
Go ahead.
there were people there that didn't need to be there necessarily.
Beware.
Like when they were talking to Ray.
In the voices scene.
Yeah. Like they're there, but Ray don't know who these people are.
Yeah, but she's saying be with me. I'm sure she would accept whoever showed up.
Yeah, we know who they are.
It's for us. It's not for
Nobody else does.
Right.
And
Well,
honestly, a lot of people don't know who they are.
A lot of that though. Sometimes we got to stop worrying so much about what a movie tells us, and kind of fill in the blank sometimes because we have no idea what she studied when she was on that planet. She could have studied about a lot of people.
I guess.
You know.
She references the book and she looks in the
I
book.
guess.
She
but
read
the
the
book was written
A lot of times I
long
think
before.
especially in the internet age, we wait for it didn't tell me this, it didn't tell me that. I'm from an age where we didn't have the internet,
Yeah.
and countless
Yeah.
speculation, so you kind of filled in the blanks on your own.
You couldn't
I know,
tweet
I know.
the producers and be
Regardless,
like,
that doesn't
what
matter.
did they do here?
Right.
The point being, Anakin was just another voice. He didn't really have. He was the same.
You're saying the
everybody
voices
else.
scene could have been more central to Anakin
Yeah.
and the Anakin
Yeah.
story arc across the whole
Because that
series of
ties
movies.
it together a little
That
bit
would
more.
yeah, you're right.
Because that Palpatine is
and
Anakin's
you
bad
could
guy.
have tied it in with like the vision that Rey had when she touched Anakin's lightsaber in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Like these movies were not thought out
No, they weren't.
as a
No.
whole.
See, the way that should have been done, the way that would work. Why are they just voices? Why am I looking at stars?
Yeah, at the end of Return of the Jedi, they're like the visions, and it's cool.
So you wanted to see them standing around.
If Mace Windu, Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn, Kanan. I mean, I don't know how you would do Kanan. He's a cartoon.
He'd be animated.
Because they could take images from
Ahsoka.
each stock footage from each movie and put
Oh
them in there
yeah,
if they want.
Or
on,
they could-
unused
I mean,
cuts.
They're not going to
Just
hire
bring
them
them in.
all to come back.
I mean, they had to talk, didn't
They'd
they?
have to pay them, but they're not going to pay them.
They had to talk, didn't they?
You know.
And you know what? Maybe they should pay him. Bring him in. Do it right.
I mean, yeah,
Who cares
it's
if
the last
that-
Star Wars
it-
movie.
it-
Might as
and
well
it's one
go
scene.
all out.
They wouldn't have to be paid that much.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't
mean,
think not paying them is the excuse.
Yeah.
That they had. It was
That's
not thinking about that.
They just didn't do it. Ray did it. Now, and it's shown. Luke grabs the lightsaber. There's nothing stopping Anakin from grabbing a lightsaber. And then there's also the issue that, I mean, Qui-Gon was the first ghost. Then Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Anakin.
Be careful how you're touching the mic there with your arm.
Yeah.
It's going to make noise. Okay, go ahead.
Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Anakin. When did Mace Windu learn how to... Like, who taught Mace Windu how to be a ghost? Before...
Well, he wasn't a ghost, though. He was just one with the Force.
That's not how it works.
He didn't materialize as a ghost.
That's not how it works. If he's talking, he's a ghost. Qui-Gon originally couldn't manifest at all. He was just a voice.
See, but where'd you hear that?
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I don't care, because, I mean, they can write it in later. They got taught by Qui-Gon or whatever, Yoda. I don't care. That's besides the point. But you make them all show up, and then, you know, Anakin could be central, like, more important. He can say something. They did have him say that he had brought balance to the Force, which means technically, by their standpoint, he did it. And Luke in Last Jedi said that the Force wasn't balanced for a while. So, I mean, he did it, but he didn't. So it's weird. And it's dumb. And they're messing up Anakin. And they're not at the same time.
Well, they're done with him, though, so they can't mess him up anymore. You know, unless they make prequels to the prequel, you know, which I wouldn't put it past. It'd be a dumb idea, but I wouldn't put it past. All right, well, our batteries are running low here on this situation, so we're going to wrap this up. Thank you to my son Wesley and to my buddy Will for coming on the show today. It was nice to have them because I don't know if you and I had a whole lot to say about Star Wars, but they did. So this is cool. We'll probably do another podcast sooner or later about a movie that you care about.
When John Wick 4 comes out.
It sucks.
I will have some negative stuff to say about John Wick. I love the first one, but the rest of them, whatever.
See, it's hard for me to look past anything bad about it just because I love all.
Even though I
love it so much.
I did give kind of a thumbs up to the last one, but just because it was out cold, the action was cold, but the story is stupid. So, any final words from you?
I have final words, and it's that if there's any lesson that I have from these, from watching all three of these latest movies, it's that, and also Solo and Rogue One, it's that a new Star Wars movie I'm not going to be excited about ever again in the same way that I was excited about The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens was absolutely my most hyped movie of all time, and you killed it.
All right, I didn't really hate The Force Awakens, but I didn't like it that much either. I just thought it was there. I did like this movie. I did like this movie better than the other two.
I'm saying they killed it. Like, this is the nail in the coffin.
Right.
This movie.
Yeah, I don't care about anything.
So I would like to see some different Star Wars stories being told now. I mean,
Yeah.
you can leave the Skywalkers alone if you want to.
The Mandalorian is a good show.
Well, they destroyed them.
Right.
They're dead. They
Any
have to
last
leave
words
them
from you?
alone. They killed them all.
No last words? You said all you
That
need to say?
look. Just close up on his eyes. Any last words?
All right, well we're gonna cut it off. Everybody look at the wide. Be like, until next time, Artsy Home Movies. Peace.
Peace.
Oh man, wait. Oh, dang it.
Suck!
I ain't got it. Oh, okay. Oh, who sucks?
Turn it on.
Which
Oh, sorry.
camera? This camera. That camera. That camera.
All the
You saw it
cameras.
here. Yeah.
Oh, I am your father.
Star Wars.
It's not Star Wars. This is Star Wars.
Oh, did we get a shot of this?
No?
Oh, hey,
The
man.
camera's still rolling.
Yeah, get a
Oh.
shot of this. Look at that. When'd you get that?
That is Star Wars.
This half of the room is Star Wars deep. Look at that. Anyway, peace.
Star Wars.